Good morning, classmates. Good morning, Dr. Alegado. Our subject, Philippine Administrative System. As we can see, our Philippine government have three branches, and these are the legislative branch, executive branch, and the judicial branch. And we are tasked to discuss the structure of the judicial branch. According to the Philippine Information Agency of the Philippines, the judicial branch evaluates laws. It holds the power to settle controversies involving rights that are legally demandable and enforceable. This branch determines whether or not there has been a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction on the part and instrumentality of the government. It is made up of a Supreme Court and a lower court. Supreme Court is headed by Chief of Justice, and under the Supreme Court are the lower courts. These are the Court of Appeals Sandiganbayan and the Court of Tax Appeals. Under Court of Appeals are the regional trial courts and Sharia district courts, and under regional trial courts are the metropolitan trial courts, municipal trial courts in cities, municipal trial courts, and municipal circuit trial courts. Under Sharia district courts is the Sharia circuit courts. Supreme Court of the Philippines, or the kataas-taasang hukuman ng Pilipinas, is the highest court in the Philippines. It has an administrative supervision over all courts and the personnel. The court consists of 14 associate justices and 1 chief justice. The powers of the Supreme Court are defined in Article 8 of the 1987 Constitution. These functions may be generally divided into two: judicial functions and the administrative functions. The administrative functions of the court pertain to the supervision and control over the Philippine Judiciary and its employees, as well as over members of the Philippine Bar. The court is further authorized to promulgate the rules for admission to the practice of law, for legal assistance to the underprivileged, and the procedural rules to be observed in all courts. Under Supreme Court are the lower courts, and one of these is Court of Appeals. A Court of Appeals is an intermediate level of court between trial courts and the Supreme Court, which hears these cases on appeal from a lower court. Each state has its own courts of appeals for cases involving state law. Some separate civil appeals from criminal appeals. There is also a court of appeals for the federal court system. Next lower court is the Sandiganbayan. Mandates of the Sandiganbayan from 1973 and 1987 Philippine Constitution. Section 5, the Batasang Pambansa shall create a special court to be known as Sandiganbayan, which shall have jurisdiction over criminal and civil cases involving graft and corrupt practices and such other offenses committed by public officers and employees, including those in government-owned and controlled corporations in relation to their office as may be determined by law. Article 13, 1973 Constitution. Section 4. The present anti-graft court known as the Sandiganbayan shall continue to function and exercise its jurisdiction as now or hereafter may be provided by law. Article 11 of 1987 Constitution. Next is the Court of Tax Appeals. Republic Act Number 1125 of June 16, 1954 created the Court of Tax Appeals as a special court mandated to address the adjudication of appeals involving internal revenue tax and customs cases of the Commissioner of Internal Revenue and the Commissioner of Customs, respectively. Republic Act Number 9282 of March 30, 2004 expanded the jurisdiction of the Court of Tax Appeals, elevated its rank to the level of the collegiate court with special jurisdiction, and enlarged its membership to a presiding justice and 5 associate justices. Regional Trial Courts or RTC, also known as second level courts, are the highest regular trial courts in the Philippines. It was formerly called as the Court of First Instance since the Spanish era. It continued throughout its colonization under Spanish and Americans. After World War II, Republic Act Number 296 or the Judiciary Act of 1948 was enacted to reinforce the jurisdictional powers of the Court of First Instance. The Judiciary Reorganization Act of 1980, which reorganized the lower and intermediate courts in the country, included the change of Court of First Instance to regional trial courts. Regional trial courts shall exercise appellate jurisdiction over all cases decided by metropolitan trial courts, municipal trial courts, and municipal circuit trial courts in their respective territorial jurisdictions. Batas Pambansa Bilang 129, an act reorganizing the judiciary, appropriating funds therefore, and for other purposes. On its Chapter 3, Metropolitan Trial Courts, Municipal Trial Courts, and Municipal Circuit Trial Courts, Section 25, Establishment of Metropolitan Trial Courts, Municipal Trial Courts, and Municipal Circuit Trial Courts. There shall be created a Metropolitan Trial Court in each metropolitan area established by law, a municipal trial court in each of the other cities and municipalities, and a municipal circuit trial court in each circuit comprising such cities and or municipalities as are grouped together pursuant to law. Section 26. Qualifications. No person shall be appointed judge of a metropolitan trial court, municipal trial court, or municipal circuit trial court unless he is a natural-born citizen of the Philippines, at least 30 years of age, and for at least 5 years has been engaged in the practice of law in the Philippines, or has held a public office in the Philippines requiring admission to the practice of law as an indispensable requisite. Section 29. Municipal Trial Courts in Cities. In every city which does not form part of a metropolitan area, there shall be a municipal trial court with one branch, except as hereunder provided. Section 30. Municipal Trial Courts. In each of the municipalities that are not comprised within a metropolitan area and a municipal circuit, there shall be a municipal trial court which shall have one branch, except as hereunder provided. Section 31. Municipal Circuit Trial Court. There shall be a municipal circuit trial court in each area defined as a municipal circuit, comprising one or more cities and or one or more municipalities. The municipalities comprising municipal circuits as organized under Administrative Order Number 33, issued on June 13, 1978 by the Supreme Court, pursuant to Presidential Decree Number 537, are hereby constituted as municipal circuits for purposes of the establishment of the municipal circuit trial courts and the appointment thereto of municipal circuit trial judges, provided, however, that the Supreme Court may, as the interest of justice may require, further reorganize the said courts, taking into account workload, geographical location, and such other factors as will contribute to a rational allocation thereof, pursuant to the provision of Presidential Decree Number 537, which shall be applicable insofar as they are not inconsistent with this act. Every municipal circuit trial judge shall be appointed to a municipal circuit, which shall be his official station. The Supreme Court shall determine the city or municipality where the municipal circuit trial court shall hold its sessions. Section 45. Sharia Courts. Sharia courts to be constituted as provided for in Presidential Decree Number 1083, otherwise known as the Code of Muslim Personal Laws in the Philippines, shall be included in the funding appropriations so provided in this Act. A Sharia court differs primarily from the regular courts with regard to jurisdiction. The Sharia circuit courts have been given jurisdiction to decided cases involving offenses as defined and punished under the Code of Muslim Person Laws in the Philippines. A Sharia district court is of limited jurisdiction. It was created under Presidential Decree Number 1083. Cases falling within the exclusive jurisdiction of the Sharia district courts primarily pertain to family rights and duties, as well as contractual relations of Filipino Muslims in the Mindanao. Let us go deeper with the Code of Muslims, entitled Courts of Muslims, a primer on the Philippine Sharia courts. What are Sharia courts? Sharia courts are Sharia district courts and Sharia circuit courts. They were created in 1977 through Presidential Decree 1083, which is also known as the Code of Muslim Personal Laws. These courts have been established to resolve cases involving Muslims. For what offenses can I be liable in Sharia courts under the Code of Muslim Personal Laws? Legal solemnization of marriage, marriage before expiration of Ida or waiting period for a woman, offenses relative to subsequent marriage, divorce, and revocation of divorce, failure to report for registration, neglect of duty by registrars. Sharia District Courts. What are Sharia District Courts? Sharia District Courts are courts where Muslims can file the following cases: those which fall within the original jurisdiction of Sharia District Courts, Article 143 CMPL. Letter A. All cases involving custody, guardianship, legitimacy, paternity, and filiation arising under the Code of Muslim Personal Laws. B. All cases involving disposition, distribution, and settlement of estates of deceased Muslims, probate of wills, issuance of letters of administration, or appointment of administrators or executors regardless of the nature or aggregate value of the property. C. Petitions for the declaration of absence and death for the cancellation or correction of entries in the Muslim registries mentioned in Title 6, Book 2 of the Code of Muslim Personal Laws. D. All actions arising from the customary contracts in which the parties are Muslims, if they have not specified which laws shall govern their relation. And E. All petitions for mandamus, prohibition, injunction, certiorari, habeas corpus, and all other auxiliary writs and processes in aid of its appellate jurisdiction. Number 2. Those which fall within its concurrent jurisdiction with existing civil courts such as A. Petitions by Muslim for the constitution of a family home, change of name, and commitment of an insane person to an asylum. B. All other personal and legal actions not mentioned in paragraph 1D, wherein the parties involved are Muslims except those for forcible entry and unlawful detainer, which shall fall under the exclusive jurisdiction of the Municipal Circuit Court. And C. All special civic actions for interpleader or declaratory relief wherein the parties are Muslim or the property involved belongs exclusively to Muslims. Sharia Circuit Courts. What are Sharia Circuit Courts? Sharia Circuit Courts are courts where Muslim can file cases involving the following: offenses defined and punished under PD 1083. Disputes relating to marriage, divorce, betrothal, or breach of contract to marry, customary dower, disposition and distribution of property upon divorce, maintenance and support and consolatory gifts, restitution of marital rights, and disputes relative to communal properties. Can a non-Muslim file a case before a Sharia court? Yes, a non-Muslim woman married by Islamic rites to a Muslim man can file any case covered by the Code of Muslim Personal Laws before a Sharia court. Can I appeal if I am not satisfied with the decision of a Sharia court? Yes, you can appeal decisions of the Sharia Circuit Court to the Sharia District Court. Decisions of the Sharia District Court can be appealed to the Supreme Court on questions of law or for abuse of discretion committed by the judge of the Sharia District Court.